All right, guys, when I was a skinny guy growing up in the bodybuilding industry, I had the opportunity to go to a workout with Evan Centopani and Frank McGrath locally here in New Jersey. And if you recognize the names, they are legendary animal athletes. And one of the things that stuck out to me was they recorded this video during this workout where they were joking about, they're like, remember when we used to just throw 3 plates on the bench and just start the bench workout? Man, it sucks having to warm up and do all this stuff for our joints. Now, at that time, I neither could bench 3 plates nor had to worry about joint health. My time of benching 3 plates has come. It is still here, but I'm now at the point where I also have to worry about joint health. And that's why we're talking about Animal Flex today. Today, Animal Flex is going to be one of Animal's joint products. They also have their Omega, but this is really what we're talking about here with joint health, repair, inflammation control, and stuff like that. This is a powder. I'm talking about, I have the powder here, but they also do this in a pill pack. Obviously, the pill packs are very traditional and big for Animal, but today we're going to be talking about the ingredients contained in them. I'll be kind of meshing the two of them together to talk about what you find in both of them. They're a little bit different in some different ways, but we will find the intersection and talk about it here. So here's the big elephant in the room. This is going to be proprietary blend. And you guys know I am not a fan of proprietary blends. We talk with Animal a lot. We do a bunch of their products or videos here, and sometimes we get access to the ingredient panels and get to talk about some of the ingredients behind the proprietary blend. This is not one where we are privy to any dosages, so I'm not going to be able to share anything specific here. But a big thing with Animal is going to be that they've been around since like 1976. A lot of these products still exist from that time period, and so they're still going to be proprietary blends. They're still protected behind that. A lot of their new really great products are completely transparent. They're Pump Pro, they're Fury. I love the fact that they are fully transparently dosed, and I couldn't be more a fan of those products. Unfortunately, today with this product, it is not going to be that way. That all being said, Animal is a trustworthy company. They make great products that have worked for decades, and honestly, every single time I post an Animal video, we get requested for more. So one of the big reasons we're doing this is because a lot of people have requested the Flex video. They want to know about the ingredients in it. So this video is for you guys who want to know about it. We're going to talk all about the ingredients in here. Unfortunately, I can't talk about the dosages, so it's going to be a little bit of a different video where I talk about the ingredients themselves, kind of speculate on the dosages possibly because of the order in the blend. It gives us some indications, but we're going to be really talking about the efficacy of the ingredient in general. I'm sorry that I don't have the dosages. I'm not going to talk about that on every ingredient. I'm not going to beat that dead horse. I'm trying to give you guys some information so you can understand the product better, make a more informed choice on if you want to buy this product and use it for yourself. I have used Flex many times in the past. I used to be a huge Animal fanboy. I obviously still am. It's also a product that, if you remember Natural Guy Eric Schwartz, one of the biggest spokespeople for Animal, he says he's used it for like 11 years or something like that. And he's a well-decorated, accomplished powerlifter that's been around for some time. Let's get into talk about these ingredients today. Animal has actually made a very interesting choice with joint products. You honestly most often have a choice between large doses of glucosamine, chondroitin, MSM, and stuff like that, and then more modern anti-inflammatory products such as like omega-3 fatty acids, Boswellia, curcumin, stuff like that. And you usually only have a choice of one or the other because they're big dosages and are either going to use a bunch of pills or a lot of powder. And Animal, the nice thing about them is you don't have to choose that kind of stuff because they make these packs that you get like 11 pills and you get all the stuff together, or you get a powder. And this powder is going to be 12.3 grams in total. You get a lot of dosages in here, and that's kind of going to be a big point for these first couple ingredients here: glucosamine, chondroitin, MSM. These are big dosage of ingredients that have to be taken for a long time, and most of the time you have to worry about a consumer. Do they want to take these big dosages? Are they going to take it long enough for it to work? But with an Animal consumer, to be completely honest with you, we're not concerned about that because most Animal consumers are hardcore bodybuilders or strength athletes that will go the distance to use the products how they need to be used and to get the actual effects from them. So with that all being said, let's talk about glucosamine here and what it can do for you. So this is going to be glucosamine hydrochloride, sulfate 2K chloride. Like I said, this is an ingredient that takes big doses dosages, and it's going to take about 6 months to really start to see effects. So you need to be taking this for a long time. But the main key takeaways here are going to be pain reduction, anti-inflammatory effects, and collagen production. Really cool study here in 2007. Glucosamine was used on knee osteoarthritis patients for 6 months in comparison to acetaminophen, the pain reliever, in Tylenol, and a placebo. After 6 months, there were significantly fewer symptoms compared to placebo, and it even outperformed acetaminophen, showing less pain than that group. Kind of a huge deal here, right? It's been shown to decrease high sensitivity C-reactive protein by 28% and PGEM by 24%, two major markers for inflammation. One of the big things we see with glucosamine, however, though, outside of just that, is a lowered all-cause mortality. So there was a big study in middle-aged men and women from 2006 to 2010 with a follow-up in 2018, noting that regular glucosamine usage had a 15% reduction in all-cause mortality. Now, another study published in 2020 confirmed these findings with a 39% reduction in all-cause mortality. So generally, just using this ingredient is a great idea for middle-aged folk. What's kind of wild about it, though, is that the real reductions were shown in cardiovascular and respiratory diseases, not just broken hips and falls and joints and stuff like that. So obviously, there is some healthy user bias here. Healthier users of this ingredient are going to live longer. This is still an interesting trend that has real effects in the world. From there, we go into MSM. MSM is, again, a very popular ingredient to be used alongside glucosamine and chondroitin. They've been studied together, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. A randomized controlled trial published in 2004 showed that MSM had comparative effects to glucosamine in terms of pain and swelling, but the best effects were when they were used together. MSM also performed admirably for knee pain and overall function in a study published in 2011. I'm sure a lot of us, especially myself, can relate to those knee pain issues. MSM is really good at helping out with that. Lastly, MSM showed a unique reduction in muscle damage just after 10 days of supplementation. So this functions as an antioxidant that most athletes aren't really considering, and we generally see it at a gram for this kind of effect. Because it's in a 3-gram blend here with 4 other ingredients that generally there's only one over it, we kind of expect to see a full gram of this. Again, we don't know the dosage specifically, but it is rather optimistic that this is going to be at that gram dosage or around there. Now, from there, we go into chondroitin sulfate. We have both A and C here. They're dosed out separately here, but we're going to talk about them as one. Often paired with glucosamine in research, it's a major part of the extracellular matrix found in ligaments, tendons, cartilage, skin, and bone. It helps with elasticity and resistance in our cartilage. So it's going to help our body withstand pressure and loading at different angles, which is going to be important for a lot of different training. We load the muscles and joints in different angles and fashions. Sometimes we get a little bit squirrely and get out of the most, let's say, optimal angle or range, and so this is really going to help out with that. A review on research on chondroitin found that lower levels of it were found in people with osteoarthritis, and supplementing with it may help improve repair. Additionally, numerous studies have shown anti-inflammatory, anti-catabolic, antioxidant, and even anabolic properties. I know, a light bulb just lit over my head because anything anabolic is worth taking, right? A 2018 meta-analysis on 30 trials showed that glucosamine and chondroitin together alleviated pain symptoms and improved muscle function while reducing stiffness. Now, from there, we get into a joint lubrication complex. Now, this is going to be a little bit different between the pack and the powder. The pack has a flaxseed oil, which is going to be alpha linoleic acid, ALA, not to be confused with alpha lipoic acid in GDAs. This is an omega-3 that when higher omega-3 levels compared to omega-6 levels are found, you're going to see less inflammation and less pain in numerous different conditions, including arthritis. Now, in the powder, we get collagen instead here. Collagen is a really big ingredient for joints and as well as skin, hair, and nails. You guys are probably familiar with it. We've talked about collagen a lot, and we'll probably talk about collagen synthesis in this video as well. Probably not too much to jump in on here because we've done a lot of collagen. If you want a deeper dive on collagen, search collagen on our YouTube or blog, and you can get a lot there. But one ingredient here that we do see crossover in both the powder and the pack is going to be the cetyl myristoyate proprietary blend. Now, this is a blend of cetyl myristoyate as well as cetyl myristate, palmitate, laurate, palmitoleate, and oleate. These are different blends of additional fatty acids used to treat joint pain. Research is going to show that they can reduce joint pain, decrease joint inflammation, and prevent additive joint damage. All three really big things for athletes, obviously. What's interesting about it is it's going to work through the inhibition of arachidonic acid, which is a very popular ingredient for improving hypertrophy here. Arachidonic acid is an inflammatory fatty acid that, while it is anabolic, can lead to excessive inflammation when too much omega-6s are in the body. And to prove this, a double-blind placebo-controlled study in 2017 tested this ingredient with 28 people with mildly arthritic knee pain, determining it was effective at all concentrations for reducing knee pain after 12 weeks and a 4-week follow-up. So obviously a helpful ingredient here. From there we get into hyaluronic acid. This is going to be in the last ingredient in the powder. It's one of the first ingredients in the pills because there's different ingredients at different dosages here, and they also split up the ingredients differently in the pills, so we really don't get a great idea on what dosages these are going to be. But hyaluronic acid is a very popular ingredient for hair, skin, and nails. We see that in the skin craze right now. But Animal Flex had this way before that for joint health. Now, hyaluronic acid is known because it's in a lot of different tissues. It's in eyes, lungs, heart, muscle, joints, but it's known for its ability to attract and absorb water and hold that. Our focus on that is how that better leads to joint health through a method of lubrication in the soft tissues. Hyaluronic acid can help with water balance and osmotic pressure. And so when dosed high enough, it has some relevancy to sports nutrition and joint pain function, but used long term, reducing knee joint pain was seen at even just 80 milligrams a day. So there's definitely a very optimistic look that it's going to be at any sort of efficacious dose in this product. No matter what, I can't see them using less than 80 milligrams at the end of this formula. Now, this is where the pills in the pack kind of differ. The pills put this complex separately in a joint support complex, but in the powder, you're going to see a lot of these ingredients just in the joint lubrication and support complex. We're going to see ginger here. Ginger is really great because it's got effects for nausea, but in terms of muscle pain reduction, it really helps out a lot with that. Studies have shown ginger to reduce muscle pain in 24 and 48 hours post-workout. This was confirmed with a meta-analysis on 7 different studies demonstrating all of them showing lowered muscle pain after 5 days of usage. We've also got turmeric root here, which is going to supply curcumin. Now, this is a huge ingredient. I take a load of this to lower inflammation. By inhibiting COX-2 enzymes, similar to how NSAIDs work, like ibuprofen or acetaminophen, alongside other mechanisms of action, obviously, it's going to reduce oxidative stress and overall inflammation. It's been consistently shown to reduce pain overall, which is going to be really important. If you've ever been in joint pain, you know that it is unbearable and you just want a little bit of a break for it. The research on curcumin goes really deep, and if you want a deep dive on it, Mike has done a few of these on the blog and the YouTube, so if you want to jump in on that I would definitely recommend you go jump in there. I'm not going to do it justice like he does when he spends 20 minutes on it, but it also has a lot of other cardiovascular benefits that those NSAIDs that you might be using instead of this definitely don't have. Rounding on the last 2 here, we've got Boswellia serrata. This is going to come from frankincense. It's got a potent gum resin that's historically been shown for various anti-inflammation purposes. It combats osteoarthritis through reducing inflammation. What's big here is that it's going to work differently than a lot of the other ingredients in here. It's obviously a lot of the name of the game here is going to be reducing inflammation. If you want to check out our blog, we talk about how lowering the levels of 5-lipoxygenase can inhibit leukotriene production. There's a lot of pathways here that we go through, and there is a deep dive here. I don't think it's super important to really go through all of this for the YouTube. Honestly, it's just a deep dive into science that a lot of users are just looking to know what it's going to do for them. So if you are interested in that deep dive, I definitely recommend checking out the link below in the description and going and checking out the blog. We also have quercetin here, a very potent antioxidant that pre-workouts used to have, but have been pulled out for products like this. It's also in the animal immune product because it's such a powerful antioxidant, but high dose usage of quercetin has led to a decrease in exercise-induced stress. We're not really sure what the dosage is here, and it's kind of at the end of the formula, so we're not totally sure if that high dose is being achieved here, but any part of this antioxidant is going to help with lowering inflammation, which is going to be beneficial for an athlete that's accumulating a lot of oxidative stress and inflammation from hardcore training. Now, lastly, we have bromelain here. This is often paired with quercetin and anti-allergy supplements. But in this case, bromelain is going to be seen as interesting because it's actually found in pineapple, is probably where you're thinking this sounds relevant from. Specifically, it reduces knee pain in studies. It is, again, lowering inflammation as well as helping with digestion of protein is a big thing here. The animal does add in a few extra vitamins and minerals here. We've got vitamin C, vitamin E, zinc, and manganese. These are all important and helpful for your body's dealing with inflammation and joint pain, but it's also the kind of thing that you should be getting from your multivitamin as well. A lot of great stuff comes from Universal and Animal on that stuff as well. All in all, the Flex pack is going to get 44 packs. The powder either comes in a cherry berry or an orange. I got the cherry berry. I haven't actually used this one yet. I used to use the orange, so I don't have any comments on the flavor, but Animal isn't really known for, their wild flavor systems. They're known for getting the job done with the ingredients and the products because they know what you're going through and they can help you out with that. So hopefully this was helpful. I know there wasn't a lot of dosage discussion in here like we normally have, but I wanted to convey a important point of what the ingredients are for. So the folks that are asking about Flex so many times, literally we've had a ton of questions to do this video, we can get something out for you guys to understand what is in the product, what it's used for, and what it can do for you. Obviously, I do have to say I got this product for free. We do have a business affiliate relationship with Animal, and I'm a huge fanboy of Animal. So yes, I am absolutely biased to these guys. They've done a huge amount of help for the industry. They've given back so much to the community and the athletes, and I think we should applaud them for that. So hopefully this helps you give a little bit more of an educated thought process on your decision making for purchasing, but I definitely would recommend you use this if you are someone who is dealing with joint pain, if you are training hard and you want to protect your joints. As always, guys, I appreciate making this far in the video, and have a great day.